My name is JD Valilla. I'm head of sleep experience for Serta Simmons Bedding, and this is my third year presenting for the ILHA, so I'm very grateful to be back again for the third time. And today I'm going to talk to you about something that I absolutely love, which is sleep. I would love to say that I'm a mattress guy since I represent a mattress company, but the truth is that really all I care about is helping people sleep better. So what I want to talk to you guys about today is really how we reimagine what the guest sleep experience can be. I'm going to cover a couple topics here that I found to be things that I'd really like to focus on. Those would be the importance of the sleep environment, something that is a big driver of what I do at Serta Simmons Bedding. Factors that impact the quality of sleep, new protocols impacting guest sleep, offering guest touch-free turn-down service, the overall sleep experience and what that could look like, the heart of the guest room, aka the mattress, and also the connected sleep concierge. So before I dive into most of the content, I always like to preface with some sleep data. So this is a recent research study that we did actually towards the end of 2018. And for this particular segment, I focused on and pulled the stats around the importance of the sleep environment. So when we think about sleep environment, we have to consider everything around us while we're sleeping. So that's the bedroom, that's the ambient air temperature, that's the noise, the mattress, the pillows, that's everything that involves sleep or could negatively, positively impact how we sleep. So everything is up for grabs here. When we think about our bedroom, obviously that's going to be very similar to our hotel room, where we've got different ambient noises, ambient influences, anything that could impact us. So that is the sleep environment. And of course, when we do this research study, we find right away that the mattress falls to the top, right? We see this time and time again. We see this through all of our research studies. Mattress is a huge driver of sleep. But if you start going down that, you see that there's some other areas there, right? So there's temperature, there's the pillow, there's sound and noise level, lighting, sheets, air quality, even pillowcases, believe it or not. All of these things are somehow impacting the way our guests sleep, and we want to focus on that. When we talk about the aspects that define comfort, you can see what pops up there. The biggest thing, talking about darkness, quiet, comfort, temperature, all of these things driving the sleep environment. And so I'm going to break down a couple of those and kind of walk you through some of the aspects that I found to be the most important, and also what I've done to actually drive an experience around this. So the first one that I always focus on is circadian rhythms and lighting. And the big thing with circadian rhythms is that is one of the two main processes that regulate sleep. And really, the easiest way to discuss circadian rhythms is it's really driven by light. At the end of the day, the main driving force to sleep regulation is the light that comes through our eyes and actually sends different signals to our brain to actually help us fall asleep or wake up. If you look at this chart here, which is a recent one that I found, and I absolutely love this picture, there's two key takeaways from this. First, you can see how the sun, the color of the sun actually, or the light actually changes throughout the course of the day. And then at the top of the chart, you can also see how the brightness or the lumens of the lights change. And what I want to emphasize about this is that when we think about lighting, we know it's got a huge impact on how we sleep and regulating sleep. But if you look at lighting, it does not stay the same color. It's not one particular color. It's not one particular brightness. It is basically a dynamic experience. And we need to think about that in our guest rooms. How do we bring essentially the experience of a dynamic rising and setting of the sun into our hotel rooms? Now, the second thing, and this is actually something that I've become very passionate about in the past year and a half, which is really around in-room air quality. This has a profound impact on how people sleep as far as allergies, asthma, other things like that. And the best, I guess, scenario that I would explain about something like this to help you understand the importance of this is if you think about how new construction has really revolutionized the way we think or the way we talk about energy efficiency, right? So new construction means we're building with the newest materials. We're building in a way where everything is more efficient, right? So we're losing less air or conditioned air to the ambient outside environment. And what that basically means is you're essentially creating this environment that actually the air inside is so much more contained to drive those efficiencies that in fact the air quality is going down inside. So really indoor air quality is actually suffering because of these additional efficiencies that we've gained through these new construction materials. So thinking about air purification in the guest rooms, this is going to have a huge impact on how our guests sleep. Now, not to mention, there are studies that also show that improvements that to sleep have been, really perceived. Like there are people that perceive better sleep with better air quality. So something to definitely consider. This is something that I've been very passionate about, and definitely use an air purifier inside my own bedroom. But definitely something to bring up on our radar. The other advantage as well is that for people who enjoy white noise, which is something I'm going to talk about in a second, these air purifiers tend to give off a simple, low frequency white noise sound, which could actually help drown out some of the other noise in the hotel room. So moving on to that's where sound masking comes in, right? We call it white noise. It could be white noise, pink noise, it could be brown noise. But at the end of the day, what we're trying to do is mask the sound. So thinking about our hotel experience, whether your room is located near a noisy corridor, or it's near the elevators, or possibly the HVAC system in that room, kicks on and it's rather loud for the guests. Using a noise masking machine is actually a really really great way to actually drown out some of those noises that would ultimately impact how you sleep. These disturbances could wake you up throughout the course of the night. So definitely something to consider. The other thing that I will point out when it comes to noise masking, there are certain things, and I would say it this way, actually, how we sleep is as unique as our personalities. So at the end of the day, things like noise masking or sound masking, they may work for me, but they may not work for you. And so what I'm not saying is for all of our hoteliers to go out and put sound masking machines into every single room. But I do believe that the availability of such a device for people like myself who enjoy it would go a long way at really creating a unique experience, for those of us that enjoy this when we stay at your properties. Now, moving on to the hospitality experience. And this is something that, while the impact of COVID has been, it's been very interesting. And I know some of us have been impacted more than others. What I will say is that what I've witnessed from hoteliers and the response to how to essentially create this trust and make me feel more protected when I stay at properties, this has been absolutely amazing. I love these extra steps that have been taken. I love, the ability to basically feel more secure when I'm staying at properties, and really it helps alleviate some of these, concerns. Because I got to tell you, for me personally, COVID is always on my mind, and so these extra steps and delivering this peace of mind right now has been phenomenal. And I want to applaud all the hoteliers for taking that extra step to do this. It makes me feel way more appreciated when I stay at properties that actually go these extra miles to do this. So how is SSB responding to something like this? One of the ways that we've been focusing on this is how can we make our mattresses essentially deliver the same type of experience, right? Again, we're looking to create this trusted and protected environment for our guests and for our sleepers. So the way that we've responded is actually with mattress technology. So this is what we call high-Q ViraBlock. It's a revolutionary technology with antiviral and antimicrobial properties to keep beds safe and free from dangerous viruses and bacteria. What I love about this particular technology is obviously we're hitting on the antimicrobial. It's hyperallergenic, killing 99.9% of bacteria on contact. But more importantly, the technology is built into the mattress. We're actually using the technology in the fibers itself. And this is important to consider, right? What we're not talking about some sort of topical antiviral or antibacterial application that's put on it, right? What we're talking about is that this mattress is inherently designed from the ground up to provide this solution to you. So no topical spray or any type of chemical spray that's being put onto the surface of the mattress. What we're talking about is a mattress designed from the textile technology itself to be antimicrobial and to be a superior antimicrobial solution. So this is actually, for those of you that have been in touch with our hospitality group, you do know that this technology is coming out. We've been working on this rather feverishly ever since the pandemic hit. And I'm very happy to announce that this is going to be available very soon for all of you. So please reach out to us and get some information so we can talk to you more about this technology. So what I want to talk about next is actually the touch-free turn-down service. I'm a big fan of turn-down service. I actually have my own personal turn-down service in my house that I do for myself every night. That's something I can talk about another time, but I think this extra touch of how we prepare the guest room goes a long way. And if we think about turn-down service, I mean, this has been a staple in luxury travel dating all the way back to the 18th century, right? This has been around for a very long time, and understanding the power of this extra touch on guest satisfaction, has really has allowed hotels to create very unique turn down experiences. And I find this to be, one of my favorite experiences when staying at a property. So how do we, take that a little bit further? Like, what kind of experience could we take with, with the consideration of the pandemic, with the consideration of making people feel more trusted and protected when they stay at our properties, and then also trying to loop in what I discussed about before, where we're talking about, the temperature in the room, we're talking about lighting, we're talking about overall comfort. How can we sync this all together and create this unique experience? So the experience that I've kind of walked through, and this is slightly modified based off of what I do in my house every day, but the idea is we create this sleep sanctuary that's designed to deliver really, really great sleep. But it starts with this, almost like a sleep ritual, right? This experience becomes that ritual of preparing the bedroom and, more importantly, preparing the guest for that, ultimately going to bed. So really walking through what this experience could be. It's, before a guest checks in, he or she receives a text that their room is clean and ready for arrival. At 9 p.m., the temperature in the guest room drops to the ideal sleep temperature programmed using smart thermostats. An air purification system turns on to ensure the room air is optimally cleaned in preparation for sleep. The lights in the room change to an amber or red, or even, automatically going to their dimmest setting possible. While the thermostat automatically turns the fan on to start circulating cooler air. And that also allows, the sheets that are now pulled back to get cooler, right? Because what we want is a nice, cool bed. We want the bed as cool as possible before we go to sleep. At 10 p.m. or at a time determined by the guest, 2 in-room noise masking machines turn on and create this beautiful noise blanket over the mattress, essentially setting it so that no noise is going to interrupt you throughout the course of the night. Additional amenities like individually wrapped sleep masks, lavender scented pillow sprays are available next to the bed to promote relaxation. If a guest wakes in the middle of the night, to use the restroom sensor technology could turn on dim floor lights to safely illuminate the way. Again, the idea here being dim lights, safely illuminating the way to the restroom, but without disturbing, the overall sleep environment. And then again, at around 6 a.m., or a time determined by the guest, of course, the sound masking devices slowly shut off. The drapes or window treatments change from room darkening to gently and slowly opening to allow that natural blue light in from the sun, filter into the room, and ultimately rouse you from sleep. So essentially, if you do it that way, you have no alarm, no need for a wake-up call. You are waking up naturally to the rising of the sun, which is a very powerful way to wake up. And then, of course, I have to talk about the mattress, which we consider the heart of the guest room. At the end of the day, the foundation of the sleep experience starts with investing in high quality mattress technology. The mattress, again, remains at the heart of the guest room and a key investment toward achieving your guest sleep experience goals. But mattress technology is not all created equally. Hospitality sleep solutions are different by design because they have to be. They have to stand up to years of guest use and abuse. And at Serta Simmons, our sleep technologies are designed to be commercial grade, so they provide reliable performance and durability. They also undergo rigorous testing from components to final product and carry exceptional warranties to minimize business and revenue and disruptions ultimately. One of the things that I've been promoting for a while is this idea of a connected sleep concierge, right? We already have properties that have this concierge service, this kind of go-to point for everything you need for your entire experience on property or off property. And what I'd like to do is propose an idea of how we take this further. How do we actually create a concierge service around sleep? And now that could be as simple as me walking up to a concierge and asking for different sleep aids. And that's one way to do it. And maybe that's an MVP model of how to start this. But really what we want to do is start leveraging guest profiles and loyalty apps. Essentially using the data that we already know about our guests and creating a virtual sleep concierge experience to deliver a personalized sleep experience with every stay, right? So no longer do I even have to go to see someone about this. It's already pre-set up for me. The minute I check in, you know who I am. You know the products that I like to use. You know exactly what my sleep experience should be and how I want it, and everything is ready to go. And that's, to me, that is like one of the final personalization steps that we could really achieve that could really drive, a very interesting experience and benefit for our guests. Of course, there's smart devices that we can use to do this together with personalized amenities, thinking about like lavender scented pillows and sprays. We can even create, this adaptive sleep environment that delivers the best sleep and recovery possible by using all of this together along with our profiles to really hone in on how I sleep. The integrated turn down experience, making that unique, making it memorable could not only improve guest satisfaction, but really strengthen loyalty at the end of the day. If I know that not only am I going to be taken care of at check-in and all these great amenities offered to me while I stay on property, but I know for sure that the property takes my sleep experience seriously enough to where all of this is dialed in, I'm always going to want to stay at that property. And for someone like myself, who is, albeit a sleep nerd, I would love to see the day where the way I sleep at home, which is completely dialed in and really tuned into this idea of promoting sleep, I would love to be able to pick a property and stay at the same property over and over again because they have taken what I've done at home and brought it to my guest room. It's a profound thought. I love the idea of it. I would love for one day to just check into a hotel and literally my bedroom at home becomes, the bedroom that I'm staying at the property. It's a really cool idea. I'd love to talk more about it and see how we can make this happen. Ultimately, I believe it's time to really put amenities, that don't promote a restful night's sleep to bed, right? That's pretty much the take on my sleep experience here and what we'd like to deliver. If you're ready to take your guest sleep experience to the next level, I'd love to chat with you. So please reach out to us at hospitality@sertasimmons.com. And thank you again for your time.